Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ Group Tài nguyên dựng phim. Nghiêm cấm các hành vi lít về rồi bán cho thằng khác. Mọi ý kiến đóng góp xin gửi về Facebook Quỳnh Ngọc Tân.
Building a story in an edit is all about a sequence of shots. And if the shots don't have the same color correction, they don't all look like they belong together, that will take you out of the moment and it's going to hurt your story. So we want to make sure that all of our shots match together and feel like they're in the same world. Here we are back in Resolve in the color page, and shot 8 is looking pretty nice. I think looking at this again, I'll maybe just boost up the midtones a little bit. But let's say that we like this and we want our other shots to look like that too. Well, the best way to get that to happen is just to compare everything to this shot. If you have one shot that's sort of the target look that you're going for, you can compare and contrast all the other shots to them, and this is kind of like your anchor. This is what colorists call a hero shot. So since this is our hero shot, I'm going to right click and say grab still, and that will appear in our gallery. And let's pick another shot and see if we can match the look. So let's start with shot 3. It has similar things. It has Gwen. It has Isaac, it has a lot of the living room, kind of the same thing. And I'm going to start just to see if this same correction will work on this shot. And I'll do that by copying over the correction from shot 8 onto shot 3. The easiest way to do that is to select the shot I want to copy to, and then middle button mouse click the shot that I want to copy from. That's clicking down on the scroll wheel on my mouse. If you don't have a mouse with a third button, you can right click on whatever shot you want to copy from and say apply grade. That will add our color correction here to this shot. So let's go in between these. And what I like to do is start by just flipping in between them and seeing if there's any obvious differences. Well, on shot 3, this feels a little bit more warm, kind of more green. This one feels a little more neutral, bluish. And if this is the hero shot, this is the one that we want to go to, we need to change this shot 3 to be a little bit more neutral and bluish. Let's start by just maybe taking our offset and just pushing it a little bit more blue. Just ever so slightly, and let's flip back and forth. And now we're definitely a little bit closer to the ballpark. That feels a lot better. And now it might be a good idea to use a little split screen. Let's go up to our gallery and right click and say play still. And what that will do is load a still image from our saved color correction. And we can wipe this back and forth and compare it with the shot that we have here. So it's really easy to see if there are any major differences, if these feel like they're in different worlds or what. And I think for the most part, this is a pretty good match. It looks pretty good. You want to look at the major colors, especially the skin. Her skin here looks very similar to her skin here. Her shirt and her overalls look very similar.
Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ Group Tài nguyên dựng phim.
Isaac's skin looks similar. The red on his shirt looks similar. If we go here comparing the walls, this one's maybe a little bit darker, but it's the same kind of tone. These don't look wildly different than each other. So I would call this a pretty good match. It won't always be quite that easy. I'll get rid of my reference wipe. And let's try and match shot 10 to shot 8. So I'll just select shot 10, middle button mouse click shot 8, and now we have a pretty big difference. This one looks too blue. We'll just push our offset maybe away from blue a little bit. It's also pretty bright, and so let's take the offset brightness down a little bit and see if that helps. And now we can go ahead and play our still. I'll just right click and say show reference wipe. That'll bring in the last still that we've used. And now we're kind of getting an idea of, yeah, this is a lot brighter. And it's okay that it's a little brighter because this is a close-up where we want to see his face a little better. This is kind of the shadow side of his face. But we don't want it to look so different. And right now, this looks really different than this side. This looks like he has this big white light on him. This one looks like he's lit by this lamp. So one thing we need to do is maybe just in the gain. Let's push just a little bit of this kind of warmer tone, a little bit more towards the green side of things. Maybe the colors are a little bit too bright, so we can take some saturation out. Maybe go a little further on the kind of greenish tone. Again, maybe it's just a little too bright, so we can take the gain down. And now we're getting something that's a little bit closer and that feels like it could be in the same world. And it's all about just comparing these two shots and making tweaks so that they feel like they live together. I'll turn off our reference wipe. Now, if we flip back and forth, this shouldn't feel unnatural. And I think it definitely passed that test.